For this one to be my first intro into real horror, I'm in great hands.
After reading the script, first page, I'm locked in. The essence of making sports your entire identity drew me in.
This is simply a movie that shouldn't exist, and that's kind of what we love at Monkey Paw. Something you're not supposed to touch, something that is culturally sacred, and to figure out how to cross that boundary in a way that brings everybody along.
The promise of horror meets sports. In my bones, I was like, I know exactly what I would do with this film. I know exactly how to do it.
The collision of professional sports through the lens of horror, that's where shit gets interesting.
This crazy juxtaposition between this great American pastime with the dark side of that sport, which is that there's people who are making extreme sacrifices with both their bodies and their minds, and that strange brew felt to us like the true stuff of horror.
I wanted to lean all the way into psycho horror because in American football, at that level, body horror is inherently built in.
You see that count? That's what real men do. They make sacrifices.
It is asking the question, what does it take to be the greatest of all time at what you do? And what are you willing to sacrifice to do it?
I was just like, all right, great. Now all I need is to get the body. And that was the hard part.
They left me out here with the old man hands.
Before I even finished my deal, I dove completely in. Because I had to drop 27 pounds. I had a belly. It didn't look right. I had breasts. I was like, wow, these things are heavy. No wonder why I wanted more reductions.
It was a lot of physical process from the ground up. I started off working 5 to 7 days a week, eating 4 times a day, minimum 200 grams of protein, cutting out carbs. Everything's organic. That was a whole new world for me.
Movie magic, baby.
We had maybe 5, 7 different trainers. Started with Adam Quinter, who was great. He got me down in weight.
I was brought in at the very beginning to train the guys. On camera, you have to look the part, right? So we needed to chop some body fat. We also needed to add some muscle so that when they get on camera, they can look amazing and look the part.
See the difference? Adam introduced me to meditation and stillness, and he made me take my back house and turn it into a meditation place for me.
The physique has to be on point, but without a solid, sound mind, you can't get your physique there. You have to learn to meditate, learn to love discipline.
We had football trainers, went to Jordan Palmer's football camp. That made my elbow hurt. You're gonna be throwing the ball all day. You ready? Go get him. Warm up.
You can get in shape, you can eat healthy, you can change your physique. A lot of people can help with that, but these are very nuanced, specific roles where we can really invest in the believability.
Say it, go!
When you're the #1 pick, you also have your own flavor, right? Every quarterback throws it a little different. They all have their own signature. And so part of this is getting him to do it correctly, so to speak. And the second part of this has been figuring out when he lets the ball go, what's his face look like? How does he retreat from the ball? What kind of style? What's he do with his offhand? These little tiny nuances where we can pull out, this is gonna be his character's throwing motion.
Tyriq didn't touch a football until he was a senior in high school. And just one season, he went from that to playing for Florida State. He is a freak athlete.
Nobody wants to go see a movie where somebody's pretending to know how to be a quarterback. Tyriq actually has that discipline and focus to always be the best and improve, so he's incredible.
Both actors absolutely went for it. They did a lot of drills, studied a ton of tape, put themselves in the situation of quarterback and understanding, yes, the physical part of it and the stamina and strength that's required to do that, but also the strategic thinking and the part of the quarterback that's the mental part.
Being a quarterback, you're the captain of the ship, if you will, calling the plays, crunch time, what are we running, who are we throwing to? Quarterbacks are some of the most gifted people. If you see the way their mind works and the way they're able to operate under pressure. But to throw like a GOAT, that was another world.
They're both extremely serious and dedicated to their craft. But don't get it twisted, these men are goofballs.
I told Tyriq, I was like, fuck you and your 25-year-old arm. I have a 51-year-old. I'm not supposed to throw shit. 51, you don't throw nothing.
I love annoying Marlon, like a young golden retriever. What's Marlon doing? What's Marlon doing? We push each other to heights that we didn't think we were capable of.
It feels good to be able to show up for the production, for myself, for the character. Every time I look in the mirror, it's a reflection of the hard work that I put in.
Are you sure you want to do this?
I've never been more certain of anything in my life.
What really drew me is that I'm super interested in toxic masculinity and the great lengths that men will go to outman each other.
What did you mean by rituals?
I was fascinated with the relentlessness of the character and what he was willing to go through. Kim's witnessing a lot of weird things throughout the training process.
Not too weird so that he can be gaslit into being like, nah, this is just how we do it. Like any kind of hazing.
Did we get you? Yeah. Constantly thinking about what am I clocking? When does the trust start to shift and who can I trust?
It's gonna be a long week.
But I think you can argue watching the film that Cameron's pursuit of greatness was of pure intent.
It's rare you can see in one performance the child in somebody and the grown-ass man in them in the same performance, and that's the sort of journey Tyriq goes on.
There's something so soulful and sensitive about Tyriq. I knew that he was gonna bring something that you can't teach. He just had the thing.
You just can't take your eyes off of it.
The casting of Tyriq Withers and Marlon Wayans, we kind of knew was just gonna be fucking magic.
What the fuck are you yelling at on my field?
Marlon's so good in this movie.
Sometimes I could just be a little intense.
Marlon Wayans is just one of my favorite castings. This is one of these transformative performances where he shows a lot of menace.
Thinking about the lady I almost killed last night.
He does it with such charisma.
What lady?
And is able to go to so many places because of his comedy background.
Maybe that's why I'm so damn good at my job.
I like improv, encourage it. I leave it open and just keep rolling tape and throw stuff at him.
Justin, he asked me to do things on the set, and I just trust him. And every time I do, it comes out like beautiful, twisted artwork.
When Marlon goes full Marlon, he would surprise everyone on set.
Then fucking answer me. Say it with your fucking chest. Say I want this.
Marlon Wayans is pure mischief.
See you later.
Is he messing with you or is he crazy? Is it strategy or is it madness?
Working with Marlon has been a blessing. We're competitors in the script, but there's beauty and love within that. Just fall into that brotherhood and let Marlon push me in the scene.
What are you willing to sacrifice? Everything!
You don't feel that fucking beast burning inside you now? Whoever has it is the GOAT.
How did this person get this unfair advantage on the rest of the competition? And maybe there is something darker, deeper, a little bit scarier behind why some people have this ability to rise to the tippy top.
If you're trying to be great at something, you make these sacrifices.
How much of yourself do you sacrifice until you no longer recognize yourself? And that is a terrifying idea.
This is a film about the cost of greatness.
You miss out on a lot of life trying to be great. At the end of the day, you gotta ask yourself, is it worth it?
God willing, I want to be the GOAT.
Who are you?
I'm him.
Who are you?
I'm him. I'm the man.
When I read the material, I was instantly interested. For me, it was like a no-brainer.
I had a meeting with Monkey Paw, and they had a script, GOAT, at the time.
This project came to us a few years ago. It was written by Skip Bronke and Zach Akers, and I thought it was very serendipitous because I played football, and I felt like I knew that world.
I just want you to think of this like a mini boot camp, just football.
It really spoke to the sacrifice you have to be great at something.
I worked my whole life for this. I swear to God, I'm good.
There's something like deeply horrific about this idea and feeling of you have to achieve greatness.
Come on, lock in. Let's go. Let's go.
I don't actually know if I could legitimately point to a mashup in this tone. So that was like, oh, Yes, please. The opportunities were endless creatively.
I am him!
For Monkey Paw, we're always looking to say something that no one else has said yet, and hopefully shine light on the things that are right in front of our faces by using a genre and horror lens.
As his doctor, I can't tell you it's safe for him to play football.
This is a perfect Monkey Paw film because of the mischief in the idea alone. You know, when you look at the world of professional sports, there's so much production put into the joy. This film suggests maybe there is something darker in the ceremony of it. I love the way this movie is able to appeal to me as a sports fan, but also indict me for my love of sports at the same time.
This ain't a game. This ain't a fucking game.
In contemporary culture, him means the one everyone's talking about.
Don't be me. Be better.
It's very much present in hip hop and sports, but it is directly related to religion and Jesus.
If you look at the title Him through the lens of horror, you really have a great opportunity to evoke the feeling of something that we're all thinking about, but no one would dare say it out loud.
So there can only be one.
A sort of a code word for the devil.
It's time for me to show you exactly who the fuck I am.
Jordan Farrer, the production designer, devoured this project.
What Jordan has done, it's phenomenal. I have an idea what this world's supposed to look like. He's taken us on a whole nother level with this. You've never seen a sports movie like this. This whole production got great taste.
A lot of the graphics and emblems of the pagan symbology is woven into the recovery room. There's insignias on each area of the room. So it's almost like the stations of the recovery have some sort of occult symbology as to what's performed there and what that means to the esoteric religion of what's being conjured there.
We wanted it to feel womb-like. There's the ice bath that was sort of the centerpiece of the room. And then we have a hot tub, which is sort of a natural spring, and a fountain of youth. You know, one detail that I love about that set is that there's a rose gold inlay in the floor, which is the symbol of the Philosopher's Stone, which was at the heart of alchemy, both as sort of a divine, perfect form and also the hunt for everlasting life. So all this sort of stuff, there's a lot of symbology hidden in the set.
All the framing and context of the movie is drawing parallels.
Justin pulls from so many different mediums. There's a lot of spiritual and religious imagery in the film.
That religious iconography being like imbued onto the palette stylistically felt like it was working within that Venn diagram of sports and horror.
Well, there's part of sports, right, is there's so much ritual. How different is a church from a stadium?
Welcome to church.
How different is chanting for your favorite team any different than a hymn? And I think this movie is trying to collapse those two ideas.
You know, football is descended from European soccer, which is descended from Shrovetide, which is some weird pagan-y fertility festival. So this really is based on the idea that some of these sports go back to mythological and spiritual ideas.
Scapegoat is a biblical reference. There's two goats. The scapegoat is sent into the wilderness and holds all the sins of the people. When you're the quarterback, you hold it all, but it's inevitable that you'll be sacrificed.
Let him down.
We're learning what happened to Cameron's dad in a very intimate, confessional way. And then Justin makes this really insidious move where he goes wide and Cameron's in a Last Supper type setting with reporters sitting at one side of the table, listening and recording. Cam's like tear down his face and someone lint rolls his fucking shoulder. It's so depressing.
I mean, how dare you even attempt a Last Supper? But it is crazy how that shot hits for me, where, you know, you get this feeling of like, oh, this is a painting.
It forces you to juxtapose classical with contemporary and creates this feeling that gives it this divinity. That's how it does feel to athletes. That's how it feels to fans when the game's on the line for their favorite team.
And there is also this sort of adjacency to Genesis and how the 7 days would play out. The making of something in a fixed period of time, or in this case, the rebuilding of something.
Justin Tipping and Kira Kelly really crafted a beautiful film here. Every single shot is gorgeous.
For me, I mean, I love anamorphic. I think it's really beautiful. And what we've been trying to do is like have images that are a little distorted at times. Cam's world becomes increasingly distorted as he stays in the compound, and to kind of go with Cam's spiraling mindset. We've got a good mixture of toys that we've been playing with. This one rig called the Boomerang rig that our key grip Rudy Covarrubias made, that we were able to send the camera as if it was like the point of view of the football. The donkey cam stuff has been really fun. You know, Tyriq is able to use all of his physicality, but still make it shots that we can use. We put like a football helmet over the lens of the camera, so it's like Cam's point of view.
Filmmakers out there, try not to name your lead character Cam. Extremely confusing. I was saying helmet Cam. Tyriq would turn around and be like, what?
At a certain point, the shifts to, okay, sports is horror. How does that look?
And the language of X-rays was so critical to the inciting incident of the film. Justin had this idea, what if we're able to periodically throughout the film return to that imagery somehow?
We've created this rig that has our Alexa 35 and this military-grade thermal camera mounted to the same rig.
Together, it creates an intensity to action sequences.
Essentially forcing the audience to sit there and feel what it's like to be put through rehab and injury.
Our visual effects supervisor, Andrew Woolley, was like, okay, what if we add a CG skeleton and a CG brain to enhance those moments of impact to basically feel like you're seeing a living X-ray.
3, 2, 1, action!
They said we couldn't! That was a good one. Also, the thermal camera does not perceive reflective or transparent material. It reads the temperature information of that form itself.
Do we have like a blow dryer trying to heat up the helmets, or we put Tyriq in water, like cold water or ice, so that we get a really dark effect?
We got a dead body!
Got it.
So the indoor arena is basically the big tent that bore almost no weight. So we had to figure out a way to light this area that was 200 yards, but we couldn't hang any sort of grid. So our key grip had a great idea of using airplane cable. And so we were able to make this design with our Hyperion tubes. That was a fun looking design, but was also super lightweight.
The training field was an undertaking. We decided the world would be in grays and neutral tones so that the deeper we go in, color choice would really stand out, like sort of fury or power hungry.
Are you ready to take the next step?
We talked about hitting an audience over the head with that commercial football texture, and then getting to a place where he meets his idol that feels in a world of brutalist architecture, a completely fish out of water.
For us, the Horn Fanatic represents the unexpected things that come up in your pursuit. We sort of made him a heightened version of a crazed fan, because we do feel like the fuel for why these guys put their body on the line is the madness driven by the fans.
Look at the passion in her eyes. See, that's what it takes.
I love sports as much as the next person. And you have to ask yourselves, why do we do this? Why do we line up people and have them pretend to go to war? The craziest thing about it is it's fun. It's fun.
When we were on set at the football field, we just walked into the locker room, and on the whiteboard was quotes from like Genesis. It truly is God family football.
Hello? Cam, he's the little brother I took under the wing.
Come on, man.
And I'm gonna teach him something every day.
But Isaiah's methods are unorthodox.
Sometimes I could just be a little intense.
Cam has to be willing to go through just about anything.
Going in, we all knew that the most divisive and upsetting sequence would be the machine that launches footballs.
Who are they? Oh, he's gonna play a little catch?
In football, there's this drill. It's a very simple drill working on your timing and field position.
Set hot!
You have to close your eyes, and the receiver's gonna go either left or right behind you. It has to all happen within 2 seconds by professional standards.
Oh, too slow.
It starts to take a scary turn.
I'm gonna need me a volunteer.
Mr. White, I got you.
One of my favorite things about horror movies is about the pathos of inanimate objects and how they're used, not how they're intended.
Isaiah puts sand in front of a machine that fires footballs.
I am the sacrificial lamb of the drill.
I fire the football in his face.
Isaiah start using these other vices to put Cam into a twisted experience.
Isaiah perpetuates a cult-like world where everyone does anything to appeal to him.
Said lets the ball hit him in the face to show his allegiance to Isaiah.
What the fuck is going on? What are we doing?
Cam puts his trust in Isaiah, thinking he's looking out for my best interest. But from that moment on, he starts to question things.
What the fuck?
Set hot!
What? Wait.
Set was a lot of fun because we got to do multiple stages.
So I take one hit, we go back to the makeup, we do my broken nose.
We have a nose prosthetic that flattens it out. We ran a tube up his arm and then had the blood gushing out.
Crank that bitch! Crank that bitch!
Take the second hit, and then you can see my cut lip here. Phase 2.
We got all his lips split and he'd missing tooth. So we had a dental veneer with a blacked out tooth cap.
Come back, take a hit.
My man's is dying over here, let's go!
And the third one got hit in the cheek. A full swollen eye, a gash right through his eyebrow.
It's pretty brutal. And so when we were in the sound mix, Justin and I kept being like, make those sounds just awful.
And at the same time, the snap could come slightly off, just to throw you off.
Act like you wanna be here! The fuck is it?
The geography of the scene was trying to achieve both conflict and emotion.
It's an eternal battle of crunch time, clock's running down. What are we running? Who are we throwing to? You have to have that solid mind.
Give me some receivers I can catch!
Being in that essence of the drill, Cam takes it out on the receivers.
I'm a bitch! I'll make you my bitch!
Hey.
It's a prime opportunity to make it a teachable moment.
You are QB. All the glory, all the defeat, it's all on you to hold.
He is captain of the ship. If you throw a bad ball, if you call the wrong play, those are on your shoulders.
So please.
Get your fucking shit together!
Boop. And cut.
Set hot!
This is my one shot to prove that I can do this. So there's only so much you can do to like stand up for this character.
Hey, let's get Marco. Let's get him some help.
The culmination of that scene is what makes it unhinged.
Oh, you good?
Although what he witnessed was truly real, the intentionality was obfuscated.
Did we get you? Yeah, I mean.
In situations like that, you just follow the group, because what else are you gonna do when your career and everything's on the line?
You got fucked up.
It's a microcosm for the way a QB exists. You have to have impenetrable mentalities.
There's a price for greatness. What are you willing to sacrifice?
We're trying really hard on all levels to sit in a tone that was getting darker and darker as Cameron's journey keeps descending and getting more intense. There's a level of seriousness that you have to maintain. You always have to beat the last scene in terms of the violence or the horror. Cameron survives this gladiator fight to the death. He walks out and is presented in front of the owners of the team. This ritual that's taking place is to prepare him to take over as GOAT.
It's sort of this Freemasony, Illuminati kind of ritual, and it's really interesting. We have these pig masks
There was always this sort of play with the idea of pig skin, and then also this sort of weird symbology of being humble in the face of. So they're wearing the droopy mask of the animal in front of the great warrior.
You also recite the third verse of the Star Spangled Banner, which nobody knows, including me.
Justin loved the idea that, much like someone walking into a game a little bit late, the Star Spangled Banner is already happening, and it's about to conclude. But also just the tradition of it all. Before the game begins, we acknowledge this national pastime with our anthem.
I was really blown away by how poetic it feels. The sun is shining, everyone's there to watch and cheer on this event, but they're all actually like this very aggressive shadow of society set up under a very cutthroat capitalism.
Sign the contract to receive the gifts.
From the owner's point of view, this is an illusion of choice because no one's gonna say no. Like, who would say no to being the greatest of all time, which is gonna guarantee you fame, fortune, everything.
Looking back at how Kim's dad got excited when the Sabres would score a touchdown, I think part of him is thinking about how proud his dad would be to hear this news.
The emotion that Tyriq's capturing and all the revelation, where he's laughing, crying at the same time. This was a key moment in the film. Cameron doesn't have the ability to rest like at all. There's never a time where I wanted to allow him to just like chill. So when we build to that moment of choice, he takes a deep breath, camera pushes in, and then he says,
no.
Now it's about to get even crazier, but how do you get crazier? We've already been nuts. By this point, we've kind of established that anything goes in this movie. All tension, all anxiety, we don't know what's real.
And action!
I think Elsie's very aware that Camp being the GOAT means her future will change too. So it's like a double-edged sword for her.
Guys.
It's insane.
It was such a bizarre tone to navigate. Like, how do we escalate from the most primal UFC kind of match and also lean into, like, slasher? The promise of horror. The samurai film was... So it just goes full madness.
There's a little bit of this, like, dark comedy, abject horror sensibility in this sequence. And Justin knew that the more extreme it was, the more cathartic it would feel. So the whole camera department's wearing ponchos, crawling across the field in like 100-degree weather, just blasting blood.
His father taught him how violence is rewarded in this game.
You see that count? That's what real men do. They make sacrifices.
And I think even though that might be a fucked up lesson then, in this moment, he's willing to put his life on the line if it means ending this fucked up cult.
Super nice thing.
The overall sound of the film is really radical.
Bobby's wild. We met with him early on in the process because we knew that music was going to be a big part of this.
The film is actually very musical, almost wall-to-wall.
It's a composer's dream to be allowed to weave themselves into the fabric of the film on that level. Justin and I would text a lot, batting ideas across, imagining a sound world based off our conversations.
Also thinking a lot about the intergenerationalness of this story. The young quarterback, this aging quarterback. We really wanted that to shine through in the music.
There's something about the music that's rather mysterious, but with sort of a over-the-top, slightly sinister quality going on that's really exciting.
Yep. One thing we kept talking about was the idea of this being Cameron's childhood dream and the sound of achieving that and the fragility of having a dream. And it made us think of music boxes. The first thing I wrote was the music box theme. I just found different ways to build that out that can be repurposed and molded into different shapes.
He's this really intimidating, massive athlete, but there's something so soulful and sensitive about him.
That's part of the story, but then how can we subvert that? What it is to have power and how power can corrupt that dream. And once you get there, what does it actually mean?
Bobby was obviously intimately involved in the conventional aspects of scoring, but also was very involved in the producing of a lot of the bespoke needle drops in the movie.
We had this whole idea of, well, why don't we do a thing where we sample the score and then we turn it into like a trap beat or something super modern.
Artists would be sampling aspects of his score. And then when you hear a needle drop, feeling somehow it's cut from some of the same cloth is a pretty unique experience.
Everything was coalescing in this way that I didn't even think about it. It was like I felt right. The opportunities were endless creatively.
It's a living, amorphous, breathing thing that just really takes on a life of its own.
Everything is like tonal and droney. We're trying really hard to sit in a tone that was getting darker and darker leading up to the ending sequence. It's one long cue for the last 20 minutes.
What the fuck are you doing, man?
The killing spree at the end of the film. It's a difficult needle to thread because the scene is so fantastical and absurd. We take this celeste, throw a huge trap beat under there, and put children's choir on there, put a disco beat on there, throw it through like 5 different distortion units. And I thought to myself, this is either the best or the worst thing I've ever done.
Trying to find this juxtaposition in the pro football world with something that feels elevated, haunting, religious, and elegiac, and triumphant.
God damn.
The high contrast between sweet, angelic voices juxtaposed against chaotic violence makes the film really dynamic.
The ability to bend genres is a testament to being empowered by such a great team and a great director. I'm a little lost for words. The talent in this room is just mind-blowing. These are just small ideas in my studio, and they're not even really emotions until they get to you guys. And you really brought all yourselves to it, so really, I cannot thank you enough. Like, I'm overwhelmed, so thank you. It's the most fun I've ever had writing for anything.
I know you're your own man now, and I'm so proud of you. You know, I really had to take on a lot when your daddy passed, but, you know, anyway. Listen, everybody in my church group is taking bets on where you're gonna get drafted. We are all praying for you, baby. We are all, and make sure that you get an autograph for your auntie. You know how much she loves him, okay? All right, baby, listen. Now call me back when you get this.
seem off today.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the lady I almost killed last night. Weird bitch.
What lady?
You know, the lady.
I don't know what lady you talking about. We don't have no more to shoot?
No!
All right, bounce, nigga. Oh, yeah. That lady. Your turn.
Woo. A little heavy.
Just pull it back, pull it forward. Poor baby missed. How about a little wager? You hit it, I'll give your broke ass anything. The house, the cars, the women, the lifestyle. Now you lose, I'm gonna take your youth.
Nah, I like to earn my shit. No handouts. How about this? If I miss, I just might let you keep QB1 next year.
Stand it back up for me.
You mind if I unload the clip? Ah, that's what I'm talking about.
All your sins, all his transgressions. The live goat. Confess over it. All the iniquities of the people, all their transgressions, all their sins, putting them on the head of the goat, and sending it away.
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
Morning! It's media day.
How old were you when your father died? 14?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's lean into that for sympathy.
Could you change him over for the next look, please? Thank you. All essential oils, all my product, organic, cruelty-free. We really care about the environment in our home.
That's good.
So fucking hot in here.
Amazing! Happy publicist.
What is this? We're not trained to do this?
This is training. You better get used to it. You the face of the franchise. Don't worry, you're gonna pass the paper bag test with flying colors. Fucking pancakes. Everybody loves pancakes.
Hello? Wait. Oh my God. He literally looks like your child. It's honestly kind of creepy, but also kind of hot. Sorry, one sec. Ooh, the public is gonna eat this up. Ooh! Change him over for the next look, please. Hurry up, hurry. This is gonna be good for all the socials. Is that my lemon latte? Hello? Do you hate yourself? It looks a mess. Get it off the ring. Thanks.
The fuck?
There's a party tonight, and I think you should go.
Oh, no, I'm big straight. I'm gonna get some more reps in, though.
You're starting to sound like my husband, and it's freaking me out. Like, can't a girl just have fun? It's like he'd rather throw balls in the air and lift heavy circles and fantasize about trading other men in tights. I don't know, it seems pretty gay to me. Who is he even trying to impress? The corporate oligarchy? Not to mention, let me let you in on a little secret. You guys are nothing more than a bourgeois indulgence used to distract the masses. I don't know, make it make sense.
8 rings.
Listen, I wasn't supposed to tell you, but there's actually gonna be some pretty important people there tonight. The owner, his son, oh yeah, the GM, and the USFF commissioner. And a little birdie told me that they want to make you an offer. Same one they gave him 20 years ago. But of course, they have to see if they like you, if you even fit into the saviors culture. But if I were you, I'd get the fuck up and go.
You could have just started with that. Marco. 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 You son of a bitch.
Oh my God, I've been looking everywhere for you. What are you doing in here, silly?
Marco.
Marco? I think Marco went home like an hour ago, he said. He wasn't feeling well, I don't know.
No,
Are you okay, Cam? You look a little pasty. Are you okay? You look like you have a fever.
Oh, his head's right.
Oh, yeah? That's Marco? Yeah? Sorry, Cam. We don't allow guests back here. You should know that.
Welcome back, folks. It's crazy to think of the comeback Cam Cade has made after that horrific attack just a few years ago. He comes back better than ever. I mean, nobody wanted this kid. I talked to him before the game, and he stated emphatically he wanted me to say on the air this one was for his mentor, Isaiah White. He spoke fondly about how much he taught him during their short time together. God, family, football. May he rest in peace.
Yes. See all the success manifest itself in this player, and you look at his family, now you understand why.
On a serious note, it's been a rough year. I didn't think I'd be here. You know, I had a purpose way before anybody had an opinion. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank my teammates. I couldn't do it without y'all boys. Let's go! Next, I'd like to thank my family. This is for you, Dad. Mama, we made it. We made it. All right. Last but not least, I want to thank the franchise for believing in me when no one else would. Let's do it again next year! Look, whoa, whoa.